Walnut Whip. That's that's the theme. Okay, I don't actually know what Walnut Whip is. Let me have a look. Walnut Whip. Ah. I mean, I guess that's not too bad. It looks like a shit. I think I actually saw someone have a wedding cake that's just a giant walnut whip. And it looked like a giant turd. Walnut Whip. I'm gonna need to look up some Walnut Whip facts because I've never had a Walnut Whip in my life. I don't want to know the recipe. Who invented the Walnut Whip? Duncans of Edinburgh in 1910. Wow. Let's have a look at the Wikipedia. We can do this research together. How about that? Heavy sauce. Walnut Whip facts. Diary of a Sweets Friend. Oh, it's a Nestle thing. There's a lot of writing here. Holy fuck. Oh, fuck the research. Is there any memes that might help with... I need visuals, not writing. Says she has a sweet tooth, got my Walnut Whip out. What? So cold outside that... Okay. Stop. Big Chungus isn't real, guys. This is just Photoshop, right? What the fuck? I'm so confused. I'm gonna need to just like... I mean, that's just what improv is, right? British Bake... Oh yeah! They made those on British Bake Off. Oh yeah, they also made these, which is called a cornucopia. And everyone was just like making dick jokes. So that's all I can remember. Okay, so improv story for today is Walnut Whip. Let me just get on my little text. I'm probably not going to do a very good story because I don't know anything about walnut whips. I was going to attempt to put it on the desk, but it's a bit big. When it's just the one word, I can do it, but otherwise, no. Okay. Oh, let me have a think. Kind of sad I couldn't go with my prompt, because my prompt was girlfriend, and I was like, bro, Terry's finally gonna get some. That was gross. He's a kid. Forget I said that. Because in my stories, I always have the main character be a kid called Terry, and I was like, bro, I can give him a girlfriend now. But he's a bit young, so it's probably for the best. Right. This is my improv story, Walnut Whip. Right. There was once a little boy called Terry, as I was just saying. And his absolute favourite sweet, or chocolate, should I say, in the whole world was a walnut whip. One day, his mother said, "Hey Terry, I've got a surprise for you." And she unveiled to him that she'd bought loads, like a whole bucket of walnut whips, because they were doing a competition for whoever could find the golden walnut whip could go to the Walnut Whip Nestle factory. Made in 1910, can you believe it? By Duncan of Edinburgh. Wow, amazing. Terry knows so much about walnut whips. And he was like, holy crap, there's gotta be a golden walnut whip in this assortment. Because kids say things like that. And he looked in the bucket, and sure enough, he found a gold walnut whip. there were only 5 of these golden walnut whips in all of England, because I don't think they have walnut whips anywhere else. I don't know, we're just going to say England. There's only 5 of these golden walnut whips in England, and he found one of the 5. Eventually, over time, 4 of the other 4 walnut whips got found by other kids in the country. And then they all got to go on a tour to the Walnut Whip factory. The guy, we'll call him Mr. Whippy. Mr. Whippy was very creepy. He looked at them when they all arrived in a line in front of the factory, and he said, "Hey kids, welcome to the factory." I'm not good at voices. Make sure you don't get your head whipped off. He definitely said that. The kids were confused, but they were too excited to go into the factory and see all the walnut whips for themselves, because they absolutely loved them. That's why they were there. Although one of them, Terry, had a bit of a greedier mindset, and he wanted to take over the entire factory. Once they got in there, they saw that it was genuinely like a walnut whip dream. There were walnut whip trees, walnut whip surfers, walnut whip TVs, can you believe it? With a walnut whip remote. There was a walnut whip PS5, but it unfortunately fell into the walnut whip lake and melted, and you can't get the walnut whip PS5 anymore, so that's sad. But Terry noticed something. He noticed that there was a valve above the Walnut Whip lake. So he went up, there were some Walnut Whip stairs. He quickly sneaked up there while they were distracted by the Walnut Whip TV. He sneaked up the Walnut Whip stairs and he pulled the Walnut Whip lever. And a big tube came down above Terry and sucked him up. And he disappeared. And I was gonna go somewhere else with this. I can't remember. Okay. His mum didn't know where he went. She was very confused. She said to Mr. Whippy, "Mr. Whippy, my son has gone missing. How could you not keep an eye on the kids?" Mr. Whippy was confused because he has dementia, so he didn't even know who this woman was either. And he said, "Don't worry, we're gonna go eat some walnut whips at the end. That'll help quell your worries." They went into the walnut whip tasting room, and they were in front of them a table with some beautifully designed walnut whips. There was strawberry, vanilla, there was raspberry and chocolate, mint, cherry, all kinds. And then one of them looked like a bit of a weird chip. Terry's mum went up and picked it up and examined it, rotating her hand around so she could look at it from all of its shiny angles. Then she took a bite out of the walnut whip. And she took another bite and another bite. She was like, "This walnut whip has a very metallic taste to it." She looked down at the walnut whip and there was a fucking finger in the walnut whip. She screamed and threw the remaining part of the walnut whip at Mr. Whippy, and he caught it in his mouth because it's like a fucking dog. And she said, "What the fuck are you putting in these walnut whips? Why was there a finger in that?" And he said, "Well, you see, madame, the main ingredient of a walnut whip is lactose and proteins, and you thought that we got those from whey, but actually we got those from human flesh. What? And then he broke down and started doing another Fortnite dance, and everyone was so confused that they ran out of the door, but he grabbed them with his long cane and pulled them back in and pulled them into the lake, and they all got made into walnut whips at the end. Oh yeah, I should have mentioned, Mr. Whippy had like a really cool top hat that was basically just a walnut whip. That was like the only part of his design that resembled a walnut whip. He just wore like a really plain shirt and jeans. Can see you're finishing up, still watching a movie, but hope your stream has been great. Take care, fam. Enjoy your movie, Silas. Hope you've been enjoying. Hiya, Big. Welcome to the stream. Fortnite Dance. Hello and good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon to you. I hope you're having a good morning or afternoon where you are. I literally just finished with the story. I didn't know where I was going with it. I wanted to go somewhere different with it, but I forgot what I wanted to do. And then it went there. Yeah, that was my improv story, Walnut Whip. And you wanna know, because this was a real story, you wanna know how I know that this is a real story? I was in the fucking remote control room watching this whole fucking thing happen. I was one of the Walnut Wumpers. They're like Oompa Loompas, but better. I was one of the Walnut Wumpers watching this whole fucking shit happen. And I didn't know what the fuck to do. I was on break at the time. I was watching this happen. I was just eating my cheese and tomato sandwich. I didn't know what to do. I was crying. I was ringing the police. I didn't know what to do. A walnut witch slave! Yeah, man. This was back in the day when I worked like food, hospitality kind of jobs. I was a walnut wedge slave, wumpus, just up there chilling on my break, and I saw this whole thing happen and I didn't know what to do because it was my third day on the job. I was very frightened. I didn't know what to do, so a bunch of people died and I just left and quit. I got my P45 the next day because they didn't really have a notice period at that job. They didn't care. They were pretty lax and the money was good, but it wasn't worth it after seeing that.